This is video 4 on NISM certification exam 5B Mutual Fund Foundation. We are discussing here factors to evaluate savings and investment products. That is, what should we consider when we look at savings and investment product? Here we are going to discuss factor 2, which is called the liquidity. Now my first question to you is, what do you mean by liquidity? Liquidity means quickness in conversion to cash. What does that mean? It means that suppose I have bought a house, how quickly I can convert it into cash or sell that property and make cash out of it. If I have bought shares, how quickly I can sell those shares and convert it into cash. This is called liquidity. Now, if we are talking about liquidity, what can go against in towards liquidity, or what can happen that the liquidity does not happen, or the stock or the investment product which we have bought becomes illiquid? There are few points which should be considered while liquidity option or factor is to be considered. So what roadblocks we can have in liquidity of the investment product? The first roadblock which we have is it doesn't sell. Suppose you bought a property and you want to sell it because there is an emergency and you need funds and you don't find new buyers. What do? It is an illiquid investment. There is something called as ELSS scheme in equity mutual funds. It is called as ELSS scheme. Here there is a 3-year lock-in period. So suppose I have invested 1 lakh rupees in ELSS today and there is a lock-in period, and the next year I want to encash that. I can't do it. I have to hold it for 3 years. So that money for me is useless for next 3 years. It is only after 3 years that I can withdraw that, encash my ELSS and withdraw that mutual fund. So that is called lock-in period. The third thing is penalty to exit. Suppose I have made an FD, and in FD there you would understand that you make an FD for a tenure. And if you break an FD before that tenure means are you making it for 1 year, 2 years, 1.5 years, 4 years, 5 years? If the tenure is broken, if the FD is broken before that tenure, that means that tenure is not held for the FD, then what happens is the bank deducts some charges. That is called as penalty to exit. If there is a penalty to exit, what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is if the penalty is high, then it reduces the return which we are getting from that investment. So if the penalty is high, the returns from that investment reduces. That is the drawback. That's why people do not like to liquidate that investment and hold it till the penalty period exists. And the fourth option which we are discussing is divisibility. Now sometimes what happens is you have an investment. Suppose you bought a 100 lakh FD, and instead of having 100 lakh FD, you break it into 10 FDs of 10 lakhs each, like this. 10 FDs of 10 lakh each, and so it continues. Now suppose you are in need of money. You can encash one FD, you can encash 2 FDs of 10 lakh each, and that money can be used. So is the investment divisible or not? Or you have to sell the whole investment. Suppose you buy a real estate property and it is of 50 lakh rupees. You are in need of 5 lakh rupees. You have to take a loan. That is the only option you have. You cannot sell a 50 lakh property, 5 lakhs out of a 50 lakh property. Similarly, in gold, you cannot break the brick of the gold. You have to sell the whole bar or the coin or the biscuit, whatever it is, if you are buying a physical gold. So these are the few issues which can come when we are talking about liquidity issues. So this is all for this video. In the next video, we will cover the factors to evaluate saving and investment product, which is factor 3, which is the most important of all, called returns. Till then, thank you.